This is the story of Deandrea Funchess, aged 24, who was badly beaten to death by her boyfriend and father of her 2 kids, Mayzio Arnold, aged 25. She was beaten to the extent at which an autopsy revealed that Deandrea had been beaten so severely that her spinal column separated from the base of her skull, leaving her internally decapitated.
In this instance are the defendant assaulted the victim so violently that her head was internally decapitated from her body.
Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
The family saying they were talking with the mother of 2 suspected killer for months, not knowing he was a suspect in her death.
This story will be taking us to Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati, Ohio is a bustling city located in the southwestern part of the state, straddling the Ohio River, bordering Kentucky and Indiana. The city is known for its rich history, diverse culture, and thriving arts and entertainment scene. With a population of over 300,000, Cincinnati is the 3rd largest city in Ohio and is home to several Fortune 500 companies, including Procter & Gamble, Kroger, and Fifth Third Bank. Deandrea Funchess was born on June 28, 1997. She was a mother of 2 beautiful children. She was from Cleveland, Ohio, and she schooled at Penn Foster Career School. Deandrea was a dedicated mother who took care of her children. She was a very sweet, loving, and hard-working person. She worked at a nursing home at the time of this incident. Deandrea was said to be a nice person with a good heart. She was beautiful both on the inside and outside. She was loved by most of the people around her, or maybe not. Deandrea was in a relationship with a young man named Mayzio Arnold, age 25. When they started dating, things were so sweet and nice between them. Her mother was happy for her to have found someone who truly loved her, or maybe she thought. They moved in together, then Deandrea got pregnant with their first child and they were very happy about that. She was said to be so happy when the news was confirmed. Her boyfriend Mayzio Arnold was said to be happy too. They had the baby and life was great.
Hey, Daddy. Your daddy is not up here, boy. He downstairs. Why is you drilling on me like that?
They learned about the second pregnancy too, and it was all the same all over again. They had a great bond and was building a family together. She was usually posting the kids on social media, telling friends and families how much they meant to her.
Do it.
Deandrea lived happily afterwards in the Hartwell residence with her boyfriend, Mayzio Arnold, and their 2 children. Deep down in the relationship, things were not going as people thought it was. They argued sometimes, but most relationships do go through that at times. The most important thing is how matured both parties are and how they can solve the issue at hand without any violent incident. Unfortunately, that was not how Mayzio Arnold took it when things went left a little bit. On February 15, 2022, during a domestic issue, Mayzio, who was the protector of her and their 2 kids, got so upset and he did something very bad. On February 15 at 2:50 a.m., officers went to the 300 block of West Galbraith Road for a deceased person call. Police determined the victim was unresponsive, and Cincinnati Fire Department officials declared her dead at the scene. She was identified as 24-year-old Deandrea Funchess. Mayzio told the police she had been doing too much drugs lately, which was most likely what caused her being unresponsive at the time. Her family did not have much to say about the incident, especially that she had a bit of not so smooth past. Months after the incident, Deandrea's family members continued to keep in touch with Mayzio after Deandrea's passing as they all tried to make sense of her tragic death. They were supportive of the now single dad and they did everything to help him out. They visited him, gave him food, babysat the kids and showed him all the kind of love they could. To their utmost surprise, after 6 months of Deandrea's passing, the police department contacted her family to let them know how Deandrea had really died. They told them it was a homicide and she had been brutally beaten to death. Medical examiners had determined the cause of her death was homicidal violence. The medical examiner further stated that the beating caused her spinal column to separate from the base of her skull, leaving her internally decapitated. In a layman's word, her head was only held together with her body by her skin. On July 13, 2022, Arnold was arrested and charged with Deandrea's murder.
A man accused of brutally beating a woman to death facing a judge. 25-year-old Mayzio Arnold is accused of killing 24-year-old Deandrea Funchess back in February. It happened on West Galbraith Road in Hartwell. Cincinnati police are saying that Funchess died there at the scene. Today we learned disturbing details of her condition when crews got there.
The defendant assaulted the victim so violently that her head was internally decapitated from her body, resulting in her murder.
Arnold is the father of 2 young kids with a third on the way. He's being held on a $750,000 bond.
Her family was really shocked, especially being that they had taken him in and loved him like theirs after Deandrea died.
They are just shocked after learning that their loved one was killed by her boyfriend, how it was done in particular. Good evening, I'm Tricia Mackey.
And I'm Rob Williams. The family saying they were talking with the mother of 2 suspected killer for months, not knowing he was a suspect in her death.
Or how it happened.
Yeah.
Courtney King spoke with her family in an interview. It's a sad one. You'll see only right here on Fox 19 now.
Yeah, Tricia and Rob are live here outside the Hamilton County Jail because this is where Mayzio Arnold is being held on a $750,000 bond. And like you guys said, the family had been in contact with him for months. This is because he shares 2 children with Deandrea, and they were just wanting to see and speak with those grandchildren, not knowing he was suspected of killing her. And we do need to warn you, some of the details in this story are disturbing.
It's really a shocker right now to find out that he's responsible for this.
Bernadette Davis is still grieving the loss of her daughter, 24-year-old Deandrea Funchess.
She didn't deserve this. Whatever the situation was, like this, she didn't deserve this.
Deandrea died in February at the home she shared with her boyfriend, Mayzio Arnold, on West Galbraith Road. The couple has 2 children. Bernadette says Arnold told her Deandrea died of a drug overdose.
Which never sat right with me. From day one, it never made sense to me.
But Bernadette learned the truth about her daughter's tragic death this week when police arrested Arnold for killing Deandrea.
The allegations in this instance are the defendant assaulted the victim so violently that her head was internally decapitated from her body.
I didn't know that it was that brutal. So I didn't get an official report, but I read it online.
Bernadette says she's struggling to understand what happened. She had been in contact with Arnold for months to speak with her grandchildren.
As far as I knew about him, he seemed to be okay. The kids loved him. They had issues like any other couple, but I never in a million years would have thought that this would have been the outcome of that situation. I'm more or less concerned about the kids because now they've lost both of their parents.
Bernadette says she wants people to remember Deandrea for being the life of the party, but for also overcoming struggles. She says she turned her life around for her children and was working at a nursing home.
She had a beautiful smile. And I just want people to remember that part, that she had a beautiful heart.
Arnold's murder charges are pending. Investigators are still asking anyone with additional information on Deandrea's murder to call Hamilton County authorities at 513-352-3542. This story is very sad, especially when the people who you trust are the ones who end up hurting you. We hope Deandrea gets the justice she deserves. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Deandrea Funchess. May Deandrea's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors. Please stay safe out there and see you guys in the next video.